What is going on, everyone? My name's Boit, and I'm back with some more Age of Mythology, the Titans action. Spawning in the blue color, playing as Isis. His name is Socrates. His opponent today, in the red color, playing as Thor. His name is Mariano. The map is Tundra. And we are playing on Overhaul patch 0.5. Exciting times to be alive. I'm a big fan of the Overhaul patch. It's very fun watching all of the different things that people can do and everything that amounts in this patch. It feels like the players are saying it feels like a very different game, and that's the whole purpose. We've got this fantastic skeleton of a game. Everybody loves Age of Mythology that plays it. And the idea that you can just change the game by changing a couple of numbers around and it feels different, that's amazing. And I'm surprised we haven't really done this before. We've had a couple of mods over the years, like, I don't know, Mix Up mod, God Mix Up, where you got different minor gods, and all of that stuff. And we've also had new civilization mods, but simply hardcore patching of the game to really change it. Not something that's really happened. We have had, actually, that's a lie. We have had the Hagrid created Fiesta mod, or whatever it's called, Dumpster Fire mod, which was obviously very fun. I believe that is available on the extended edition if you want to go check that out and you want to have some fun playing something absolutely hilarious. Very fun mod. As Mariano searching around, and Socrates, he's going to really enjoy this because Mariano is going to look to try and attack the priest, and he cannot attack the priest. This was one of my favorite changes in this patch, and one of the big reasons I did this patch. There's two big reasons I made this patch. One was I'm sick and tired of not being able to scout with Egyptian because the opponents can just harass my priest scout or harass my hyena as set, or obviously Ra doesn't get to scout anyways, but that's neither here nor there. And then the other reason was I was sick of Ragnorak. I think the Norse late game is really fun. And Norse here, for those of you who are unaware, Norse late game, or Norse Balder, has been changed. And I'm excited to see Mariano attempt to make it work here with Thor without having access to that big god power, which allows Norse to find wins where I believe they otherwise shouldn't be finding wins. Obviously, sometimes it allows Norse to just end the game that they otherwise should be able to end the game in, but most of the time, it's a letdown. Well, in my opinion. Anyways, there's another relic on the map I want to see. Hasn't been spotted just yet, is the Anvil of Hephaestus. This one hasn't been changed, so both the relics on this map here haven't been changed, I don't believe. A pair of golden lions is still going to give you 2 golden lions, and the other relic is still going to be giving you what it gives you, which I have already forgotten. My brain has just left me. The Anvil of Hephaestus. It still gives you the reduction in armory cost, which is really good for Thor. It's a very good Thor armory upgrade or relic there. If you take a look at exactly what it is. You can see all these things here. Copper shields 100. Copper bale 100. Copper weapons 150. That doesn't feel right, but it is. So very exciting as the Herser scouting around looking for the stuff. Mariano also going to be looking for something to attack here. He can come in and clean up all the obelisks here if he wants to and shut down the line of sight that Socrates has put so much effort into. Anubis is coming through for Socrates a little bit later. Than otherwise. And we'll see how it's going to go as the house getting knocked down on the front. Village are going to be repairing this one up. Valkyrie searching around. We do see a town center coming up as this is a big change that we get to finally see the players doing. As Mariano opting in to utilize his gatherers to build the town center up, as opposed to what Shadowfax was doing recently, which was getting the getting the infantry to build this one up. So the trade-off here is that the army is going to be able to do something while the town center is going to be able to go up, which is obviously it's a hit to the economy, but it's a boost to your ability to do things. As the Golden Lions is now out, Socrates and Boit is now out. He's going to be running around causing some problems. I believe we did see the Freya come through for Mariano, so he's going to have himself a Valkyrie. He will be finding himself having some issues against the Anubites, but the town center is now up for Mariano. Nice and fast here. The Anubites going to be chasing around, trying to pick some things off as this Skraeling almost going down. Does manage to get back to safety here as the village is going to turn around and start shanking. We do see a town center coming up here as well for Socrates while this is all going on. Very, very standard stuff. As the Herso need to retreat back. The Valkyrie, effectively the Valkyrie does counter the Anubite at 5.5 speed versus the 5.3 speed. You can chase this Valkyrie, chase this Anubite around and take that one down. Completely fine. We see Feet of the Jackal coming through for Socrates. And we'll see how it all goes. As Mariano going to search down to the bottom left and see if there's any hump there. There are aurochs and there's always going to be hunt in the corner of the map. Obviously, Socrates' line of sight here is going to be fairly low. He doesn't really know where everything is just yet. So the villagers here, he will be able to spot them, but the Herso make their way over here. If he can get the Herso onto this position fast enough, he should be okay. But the Anubites moving in, get some damage onto those villages as the villagers are going to be retreating away. A couple of villagers might end up falling here as he does lose one. And these Guardian Anubites are going to start being very, very frustrating to deal with here for Mariano's Freya Thor. As his heroes coming in, and that will push those Anubites away. And the Valkyrie pushes them back as well. Not going to get too much damage done onto them, but we'll be able to catch up eventually. There's the one shot, and then you have to kind of catch back up, and then you run, and then you do this little mini game as we see a random gold lion going for the raids up here. Will he get any kills? I doubt it. He might get a little bit of damage done. Doesn't do a whole lot of damage. It's 70 HP, 7 damage per second. As it ends up getting taken down. And Socrates going to be pulling all the way back home for the time being. The other thing here is that the Guardian Anubites at this point, when you have 3 of them, they do actually beat the Valkyrie. So Mariano is going to have to retreat back. Well, it's going to start coming up. And Mariano, he has to play defensive at this point. Socrates, on the other hand, he's able to go to the heroic age, and he has decided to go through Hathor. An interesting decision there. Hathor was nerfed to some degree. Magi no longer boosting your mercenary. Magi has been changed, so an interesting one. Interesting thing you can do with Magi is now the Magi spawns mercenary out of your temple. Only 5 of them for a relatively costly exercise, but it's specifically designed to be a defensive kind of technology, and it allows you to defend a wave of a timing attack of some variety that could come onto you as Egyptian. As these Anubites are still causing problems on this position here for Mariano. Mariano does have only a handful of villages less than Socrates does at this point, but Hathor on the way is going to mean that Socrates is going to be able to hit a locust onto Mariano's villages as these Anubites are just storming around looking for every villager kill under the sun. As Mariano now going to be getting himself up a 3rd town center. And he's going to be sticking it out in this classical age for just a little bit longer as the classic path blocking shenanigans of Serpents, Guardian Anubites, Locust comes down, and Mariano drops down to 28 villages, ladies and gentlemen. Dwarven Mine is not available either as the Raiders still chasing these Anubites around. These Anubites do so much damage. This might be a unit that is well worth even just even a nerf in the 5.0 patch with the speed of that jump only being 5 seconds. They can just get in and get out, and it can be a very, very difficult unit to play around. But we'll see if Mariano is going to make this work. He's on the 3 town centers. His opponent is now in the the heroic age. He's got walls coming up, Mark coming up in the corner. No, he got a Migdol stronghold up as well as the chariot archers are going to be getting kicked off here. Prosperity coming through for Socrates as well, as the Anubites still searching around for something to kill. As these villagers in the corner sneaking the Aurochs. We'll see if the Anubites will be able to spot them or not. I mean, they're going to be potentially leaving out this this corner nonetheless. As nope, he decides that there's nothing in that corner. Of course, there's nothing in that corner. As the wall's coming up over here, a little bit too late on that one, as the raiding cavalry do manage to somewhat get through here. Forest fire on this position would be huge, as he does manage to pick off one villager immediately there, pushing those villagers off of the gold mine, as well as the Patsukos retreating back. We will be seeing the raiding cavalry trying to get as much damage as they can onto this. Does manage to stop that Patsukos from retreating away. Going to snipe that one down nicely, as the Anubites still looking around to pick off some villagers, as the villagers are spread out all over the map here for Mariano, as Socrates, with tons of resources in the bank, spamming out chariot archers for the time being, finally gets a little bit of villager kills here for Mariano, as Mariano now 44 villagers to Socrates' 50 villagers, as it seems like he's managed to catch up to some degree. But an ox cart getting taken out, the villagers retreating back yet again, as Mariano is in a fairly difficult position dealing with these Guardian Anubites here, as they retreat into the town center. And the villagers here need to start building farms. The thing is that the Anubites can continue to jump in and pick those villagers off, but Mariano going to get left alone there as Socrates decides to retreat away. And now we see the chariot archers coming over here as the raiding cavalry out of position. Nice decision there from Socrates to utilize his raiding his chariot archers to raid here while the raiding cavalry are out of position. But Socrates has to get out of here fast, because those Mariano raiding cavalry are on their way back, and six speed raiding cavalry do take out those 5.0 speed chariot archers very, very simply, as a couple of those are coming in here to get some good damage done. As Socrates retreats back, the raiding cavalry sitting idly by here definitely should be attempting to take out the chariot archers, and finally does decide to get them moving, as the Guardian Anubites coming back in yet again to take down some more villagers here. Remember, Mariano is 3 town centers, so every villager that he loses here, he's going to be able to get it back. So basically these Anubites need to be getting damage dealt, and he is getting that damage dealt nonetheless there. As one thing that Mariano really would be liking here in this game is going to be that Scardy. If you could get Scardy out, he's going to have the Frost Giant. That deals with those Guardian Anubites nicely. There's a couple more of those Gatherers are going to be getting pushed off and almost getting taken down. Doesn't garrison into that Sentry Tower as the Herso come over here to push these ones back. Doesn't quite manage to deal with that. But with the farms down now, Mariano's food income is going to start popping up here. We do see Socrates on this position with his army. Those Patsukos are very, very scary here. But if Mariano can get to the heroic age here, which by all metrics he's probably going to be able to in this game, he's going to have access to Frost, and he will be able to pick off that that army and get an advantage here in this game, even though he's currently behind at the moment in terms of, I guess, kill lost at the moment. He's probably in front in terms of economy to some degree. Let's take a quick look at that. I told a lie there. Socrates is in front by a considerable margin. But Socrates is now, or Mariano is now going to be catching up there. He's got his farms. He's going to have his economic upgrades coming through. He doesn't have plow just yet. That's a big problem. Thoth, actually, the god of choice here for Socrates. The answer to Phoenix for Norse is always going to be those fire giants. You can make throw and axemen, but fire giants are your best friend against them. So we'll see if he's going to be able to get there in time or not. As a Guardian Nubite going to be retreating back. The raiding cavalry is still searching for villages to pick off, trade route to take down. There's not really a trade route started here for Socrates just yet. As the raiding cavalry searching around to try and take out these Anubites. We do see Thundering Hooves is in now. So now the Guardian Anubites are going to be getting taken out as the raiding cavalry come through. Does manage to take down the Pharaoh. That's always a big pick where that's concerned. It's now the raiding cavalry coming in. Skadi is 60% of the way through, coming in onto the back of these chariot archers here with the raiding cavalry. He doesn't have any armory upgrades just yet, as the raiding cavalry on the front getting dealt with there, but the chariot archers need to retreat back. Villagers trying to push this town center up. It looks like Mariano going to decide to retreat back for the time being. He's almost got the frost though. Utilizing frost onto this army, onto these villages would not be a bad idea at all, and that's exactly what he's going to decide to do there, as Thoth just about to come through. He's going to be utilizing that meteor onto this position, taking out the farms of Mariano. There's a chance the town center goes down. Probably not going to go down, more than likely here, as there's a lot of other buildings, but we'll see as the village is getting massacred there as the houses go down. The town center will live with a little bit of HP remaining. You definitely need to get yourself watchtowers here as soon as you can, as the Phoenix here causing some problems. Winter Harvest coming through, Huntress Axe coming through, irrigation coming through, fortified town centers, medium infantry. Everything is coming in here right now for Mariano, but he's got some catching up that he needs to do here, and with the Phoenix here getting some good damage done from above, we'll see how this is all going to go as the frost finishes up, and maybe, just maybe, Mariano needs to retreat back. He's got a whole bunch of buildings up over here. He's got his market on this position. He could choose to go Balder. I think Balder's the better option than Tyr here in this position, even though the Well of Erd, I mean, I think it's going to help him in this game, but we'll have to wait and see exactly how it's all going to go, as the Raiders are going to be retreating back for the time being here. There's more Raiders coming through here or more units coming through here for Mariano, and Mariano does decide to go through Tyr here in this game. I'm a bit surprised to see the Tyr. The throwing axemen are really, really good here against the spearmen, as they're going after the Phoenix. Do they have their upgrade? Yes, they do. That Phoenix is getting absolutely murdered there from those throwing axemen. Great play by Mariano here, as Mariano going to be retreating back. We'll see if this Fimbulwinter is going to be enough to help Mariano equalize this game and take this game into the late game, where he might be able to compete against this ISIS. After all is said and done, we'll have to wait and see how it's all going to go, as the raiding cavalry pushing forward. Frost Giant coming out over here for Mariano to boot, as those throwing axemen trying to snipe down the Phoenix. This is a great choke point here for Socrates, as more Phoenix coming through. We'll see if Mariano can take those out, as he does decide to turn around, target them down. Great damage coming through, sniping one Phoenix down beautifully there. The Hersa onto the back here do manage to hit the Patsukos. Great play on that, where that's concerned. There's another Phoenix coming through here. It looks like Socrates can use the Phoenix egg to rebuild that one, but that one's going to get taken down as well. Mariano with lots of resources in the bank, but not quite able to rebuild his units fast enough to spend all of those resources. But with Tyr coming in, that's going to completely shut down Socrates' economy here, as the army retreats back. And there's the Fimbulwinter coming through for Mariano, hitting the main base over here, hitting over here as well. Socrates' economy is going to come to a complete standstill for the next 30 seconds, and this might be enough time for Mariano to hit his late game, or not even necessarily his late game, but hit a position here where he's going to be able to compete against the ISIS of Socrates. Remember, Egyptian doesn't have that bonkers late game with the mercenary, which can feel very, very oppressive to play against, which does mean that Thor should be able to have a decent time here against ISIS, and this game here is looking very, very even moving forward. So long as Socrates can bounce back from this economic damage and defend this town center, he should be in a great position. Meanwhile, at the bottom of the map, we do see some raiding cavalry bashing down here. The spearmen are coming over here to try and deal with just a handful of raiding cavalry. A bit of an overreaction from from Socrates here to Mariano's raid, as the town center is getting torn down on this position. Some war elephants coming through here. The heavy upgrades through for Mariano as well, as Socrates tries to break through. The town center getting repaired back up very, very slowly here by just a handful of villages. He could utilize, he doesn't actually have the favor. Yes, he can. He does have the favor. He could utilize that Magi technology to give him that boost of mercenary for just a little bit to help him out. It's the the technology has changed ever so slightly, as the hill fort getting taken down over here as Socrates finds a completely different path of attack here, as Mariano trying to grab this gold mine is going to get thwarted there for just a little bit, as now we do see the Thrown Axemen making their way over here. Thrown Axemen much stronger against the Spearmen than they once were. If you actually take a look at the tooltip, they used to be 125% bonus. Now they're 175% bonus against those champion Spearmen. Much stronger against those. And Socrates is going to have to retreat back and figure out how he's going to play moving forward here in this game, as the large gold mine now getting grabbed yet again. And we'll see if Socrates can hold on here. As now Socrates has to retreat back. The full Spearman army, it's not going to really make it work here against what's happening with the Mariano army. Was that a Titan Age? I don't think it was. Because we are starting to see some side builds coming down for Socrates over here. Heavy cavalry, copper weapons coming in. Cavalry are not a bad idea against these Thrown Axemen at all, as the Spearmen are coming through trying to overwhelm the heavy Thrown Axemen. Still able to win the fight because there's got the just simply have the numbers advantage there. As Mariano now 90 villages, 70 ox caravan, or 7 ox caravans, 7 ox caravans there, trying to hold on and get fully upgraded. How is his upgrades looking? Not quite at the bronze upgrades here just yet. Socrates, on the other hand, he's got himself nearly bronze upgrades as well. Both players need to start investing into that. Socrates with lots of resources in the bank that could be getting spent, but obviously not yet able to make that one work, as we do see some Ulfsarks coming through on this position to try and defend over here. More trade route coming through. You can trim down that gold income, as Mariano's got plenty of gold in the bank. The Spearman coming through here. Does he have the Berserker Gang upgrade yet? Doesn't look like he does have that one just yet. As the priest coming through, getting a good amount of damage here. Thrown Axeman going to be trying to take out those priests, as well as Mariano's heavy raiders moving around trying to find something to take out, as the houses over here getting cleaned up. Nice raid from Socrates. This game is well and truly heading into a late game-esque type game here. Very equal at this point. Mariano inching in front in the score, but if you guys have ever played late game, score after a certain point, it's no indicator of your position in the game. You can be sitting with infinite resources in the bank and still lose a late game if you lose your town center or anything like that, as Mariano has seen that this position here with a hill fort can start Ballister sieging that down. So you see Hammer of the Gods coming through for Mariano. He's already got himself iron weapons and he's grabbing that Hammer of the Gods. These Thrown Axemen are going to be doing so much damage, ladies and gentlemen. This hill fort here getting denied nicely though by Socrates with his Spearman. I do think that Socrates should be considering making Axemen, which he is deciding to do here, but Axemen and Chariot Archers would be a great option against the Thrown Axemen as well. As more barracks are coming down, Socrates is now heading up to 80 villages, 19 camel caravans here. His economy here, I mean, it's looking like it's completely fine. How is it looking like over here? He's gotten everything except for his wood upgrades, but he's just not able to get the units out that he needs to defend here, as the Monument of the Priests is going to be coming in. We see another barracks coming up here as well. Iron Shields of Thor coming through for Mariano as well. His economy is absolutely kicking both players in a relatively similar place in terms of income here. You'd have to expect, as we'll see how this is all going to go as Champion Cavalry comes through for Mariano. Socrates' economy here just does not seem like he's getting enough stuff here to get all the upgrades out that he needs. It's now the Champion Axemen are getting spammed, but the raiding cavalry are starting to come in, and we do see Mariano starting the Ballister raid onto this position. Really nice. We see the Spearmen coming through here. They're going to be searching for some gold villages to take out, taking down these houses as well. Not a bad idea here, as Socrates is 161, 169 population. Now he's going to be able to start getting his upgrades as his economy pushes back up. Sun-dried mud brick coming through here as well. And the heavy chariots going down over there. Gold Lion Golden Line getting taken out. Some towers coming down onto this position as Mariano looking to siege the main base as well. As Socrates, he hasn't really started putting any pressure up into this corner of the map. I think that would have been a nice idea. Do we see Berserker Gang yet? Still no Berserker Gang. These Ulfsar can turn around and take that fight really, really easily if they so choose. As the Ballista can be taken down the town center over here. Frost Giant does get taken down there. As the question is, can Socrates break through here? He needs some siege out. He needs some something to break down these things. He does get himself some Phoenix here. That's going to be interesting if that's going to be a way. I mean, he can use the Phoenix to push in and take this down 100%. Phoenix are great against buildings, great against siege. It's a really good idea to take out these Ballista because they also group up. Look at the damage there. 2 hitting the Ballista, but the Phoenix are also going to be getting taken down very, very fast by those 8.55 damage per second champion throwing axemen that are doing 200% bonus damage versus flying units. But he does manage to take the Ballista out there. Villagers trying to push through and shank down the hill fort on this position. Not exactly the best way to go about that. He's got a siege works here. Some catapult wouldn't go astray there. He's also got the idea of making maybe some rocks here to go for some rock raids, which is definitely a possibility as well. Now the siege is out for Socrates. He's able to defend here as Mariano. He's gotten himself Iron Mail now. What's he sitting at? Nearly fully upgraded on the armory here. Socrates has kind of just forgotten about his armory to some degree. Architects coming through. He's dropped down villages significantly now, as well as his not ox caravans, the camel caravans coming in. Not the best of trade routes, but it's going to be the best one he can probably get in this position. From this corner up to here, only 50 gold a trip there. As catapult coming in to clean things down up on this position as well. Dragon scale shields coming through here to see what they can do. The Thor late game here is going to be so bonkers strong. But you do have, Mariano does need to think about trimming his economy. He is only at 80 here. The other thing is all of these upgrades, they don't affect the siege. So yeah, you want to be building siege, but also all these upgrades you've grabbed, you probably want to be making units as well. As we do see Mariano bringing these Ulfsark back. I'm not sure what his plan is with this. Maybe he's looking for Titan Age. Is that the case here? I'm not 100% sure. Yep, there's the Titan coming through here for Mariano. The problem, as always, with the Titan as Norse is that you have to put an extra 20 population into building it than your opponent does. But this may give Socrates the time to get his own upgrades out, or even get his own Titan Gate himself, and maybe even level this game, so to speak. As the Ballista doing what they can here to take out the houses and everything else. The catapult here will be able to clean up that hill fort nicely and open this position up. We still haven't seen Socrates really attempt to get in onto this position with any side builds, whereas now Mariano, one thing that he can do is come down on this bottom of this position and start harassing this town center as well, and also come in over here. Walls coming up, trying to break through. Socrates has defended his position nicely, but we'll see how it's all going to go. Look at the resources that Mariano has. And Socrates does manage to click up his own Seekers of the Titans here. This is slowing down any attempt at getting himself through to fully upgraded units in this game. As he's trying to push in. We do see Huskarl coming through to help out on this position. Look at that Pierce armor. 67% Pierce armor on that Huskarl is absolutely bonkers. As the Chariot Archers, they're just not able to cut it here. The Champion Throwing Axemen have 40% Pierce armor as well. These are really, really strong. They're just absolutely motoring through the chariots of Socrates, as we see Bravery coming through. Naval Auxiliary is coming in as well to potentially open up this bottom of the map nice and easily here, and allow some side builds to come through, with some hill forts coming down there as well. Another big change that hasn't been talked about just yet, because we haven't really had an opportunity to see it, is that Norse's late game was buffed slightly as well, with the portable ram now being at 3.8 speed. Very, very fast, zooms around the map, can take out town centers relatively nicely, but the more important thing is they get to the town centers much faster, so that portable ram feels a lot more like a portable ram than otherwise. As we do see the catapult getting taken down as the Oxy Dragon ship getting built up there. The Titan Gate just about up here for Mariano as Socrates' Titan Gate going to be getting started. This is a scary moment. You're never 100% sure if your Titan is going to be able to get up. Generally speaking, if you start it before the enemy Titan comes out, you generally get it out beforehand because the Titan takes so long to train here. Mariano with so many resources in the bank, I definitely think he could afford to take villagers off of farms here at the moment as he's getting pushed back in the center of the map for the time being. There's the Titan coming through for Mariano as he's going to be stampeding across the map. He could try and build a wonder here as well. That's a really, really valid option here with all of these resources and the fact that if you take a look at Socrates' resources, he's not going to be able to afford that wonder at any point here. As the tower's coming up, Mariano wandering forward here as well. So we do see this dragon ship getting taken down by a catapult. A question from the chat: can Vils make wonders as Norse? No, they cannot. Not going to be something I'll be adding either. I would more likely remove wonders from the game than give the Norse players an ability to win the game with a wonder. As the Titan here attempting to march across, Socrates is starting the building, blocking spammage coming up, towers coming up, granaries coming up 60% of the way through. I'm not sure he's going to make it here. Farms getting deleted around here for granaries to just block as best as he can. As Mariano, he might want to consider just going after the town center. Obviously, if he gets through here, he wins the game right here and now. But it looks like Mariano very, very smartly says, you know what? I'm going to go and get some value elsewhere as he pulls away. Socrates, full bronze at the moment. Is that iron weapons? No, full bronze. Still needs a little bit more income here to deal with what's happening. As the Axeman coming out, Titan going to be making his way up onto this position here as well. As the Huskal army of Mariano coming through to take out this fortified town. So that's a lot of Huskal here from Mariano. Mariano's trimmed his economy down to about 70 here. As the Axemen come in to try and defend this town center has got itself fortified town centers. It's got itself... what else has it got? It's got itself fortified towns and sun-dried mud brick and architects, but it gets absolutely ended there as the Axon come through. They will be able to clean up those Huskal relatively fast. The town center going to get started back up here and attempt to rebuild that one as the town center going down on this position, as well as the Titan of Socrates needs to get up there and deal with that. But more Huskal are flooding through here as Mariano doesn't even care that the Axemen here are going to be able to deal with this. There is a world in which potentially Socrates could get Magi, give himself a little bit of a boost in artificial population for 30 seconds or so to get those mercenary out. It spawns 5 mercenary to help you out with a defense against something like this. As the Titan going to be making its way over here to try and kill off Mariano's Titan. Now Socrates is down to 1 town center, as well as the towers getting cleaned up over here. Socrates bringing his Titan over as they're going to basically trade for each other. Mariano gets 1 shot to start off there in this fight. The Frost Giant of Mariano going to come over here and help out, as well as the Huskal coming over here. They can drop this town center. Another option for Mariano is to just send villagers forward to drop the town center as well, if he so chooses. Look at the damage that comes onto those Huskal while this fighting is going on. These Huskal are also going to feel a lot of pain here to the Titan, who's going to end up winning here. It looks like the Socrates Titan does win by a little bit as this town center does end up coming back up. And now Socrates needs to somehow get this town center up as well with the help of his Titan, as the Titan's got just a little bit of HP remaining. That's going to be enough to cause some problems for Mariano. But will he be able to get through here or not is the big question. As Socrates brings his Titan over, going to be bashing this town center down. We see some more Huskarl going to be flooding in onto this position. But with the Axeman in position to defend this, he's going to have to retreat back and rethink about what he's going to do. He could go for portable rams at this point if he so chooses, as the villagers of Socrates are going to try and grab the town center back up. Titan going to be defending this one as best as he possibly can. 13 villagers onto this town center. We'll see if he's going to be able to make that work as the Axeman coming back up here. The Huskarl going to come through in an attempt to defend here. The Titan's 136 HP, still not getting targeted down any longer as the Axemen do manage to path block those Huskarl nicely. The Titan gets pulled back here, going to attempt to one bang those Huskarl as best as he can. Does smack the ground there. Going to be able to pick those off here relatively quick, slowing the town center down ever so slightly, but not quite able to put a stop to Socrates' town center regaining ability here. As the Jarl's coming through. Now, what is Mariano trying here? He's trying to break through with his Jarls onto this position as Socrates is still trying to defend here. How are the upgrades looking here for Socrates? He's nearly got full iron, so he's nearly in a good position. Mariano is now breaking through here. I don't think it would be a bad idea to just delete this Titan at 136 HP. 136 HP, you're probably not even going to be able to kill a town center with this bad boy, but he does break down some walls, and we'll see if he's going to get any value out of that. As now Socrates, he needs to stop making Axemen. He needs Spearmen to deal with these 279 HP legendary Jarls. Yes, he does have towers of crenellations. They're guard towers, getting himself the signal fires upgrade as well, but he definitely needs to make some Spearmen to deal with this as the towers coming through. I love this idea of Jarls to push forward while the towers get built behind, and Mariano can slowly start pushing in, as we do see the Titan here not going to be able to kill off the town center, and even if it does, it will get rebuilt here by Mariano nonetheless. I'm pretty sure the villagers can't repair the town center, though that's probably an oversight from my part. They're supposed to be able to defend repair the town center. I'll have to check that one out if that's a possibility after the game. Look at Mariano's food at the moment. You telling me he needs food? Answer? Nah, he does not. He does not need food at this point in the game. Socrates, on the other hand, he needs resources. He does not have them. He is struggling for resources at this point, even with a 37 trade route here with the Pharaoh empowerment, basically 75. I think, no. How much? How many? Not 75, not quite 75, like 70, 60, 65 gold a minute there for Socrates, as Mariano pushing forward here. I'm surprised to see him not go after this town center, just going after the back one. Obviously, this is where the trade route is, so this is the high value town center to take out, as Socrates' town center is yet again under harassment by 13 champion Huskarls here. No Axemen out here for Socrates at this point. He needs those out as soon as he can. And now we've got the Fenris Wolves starting to motor across the map. Look at this. They are going to absolutely end this town center if they so choose. As he does come through, look at this. He's got how many? Well, I don't know how much damage. 40 damage a second, basically, as the rock raids are starting here for Socrates. The town center here getting repaired back up as fast as it can, but I don't know if it's going to be enough, as the back town center here does fall. Mariano is continuing to break through on these positions here. As Mariano with, he's still only got about, he's still got 70-ish, is that how math works? 70? Yeah, 70-ish villages here, so he's dropped down with population yet again as he's deciding what he needs to spam here. I think he wants to make some Jarls out yet again. As the catapult breaking this down, we do see the rock starting to take out the town center here. The thing is that Mariano can rebuild this town center here with his Ulfsark or with his villagers if he so chooses, but he does choose to convert those into Ulfsark for some reason. Generally speaking, the villagers are less population and build at the same rate there, but decides against that in that position there as the unit's still breaking through here. This is generally the most annoying thing for Norse players to deal with, but look at this. Socrates has got to put a lot of effort into getting his town centers back up, and he's just not able to. All the villagers falling on this position, some priests coming through to try and deal with these Fenris wolf brutes here. As the guard tower going down on this position, and the town center will end up coming back up. And how many food villages really does Mariano need? He's got, with all the upgrades, flood control and winter harvest, arguably he probably only needs about 10 villages on food, if that. 10 villages on food, maybe 20 villages on wood, and the rest can just be military units here. So this town center is still naked at the moment. The rock raids are continuing over here as this town center is getting taken out, and Socrates here does pick up the. That's so obnoxious. This wood, this line of wood here, so obnoxious as Socrates is trying to get the animation cancel rock shenanigans here to take this town center down. Socrates can just bring his village, or not Socrates, Mariano can just bring his villagers up here to rebuild that, no problems. He can also grab this town center here and continue along in this game. But this is definitely one of the weaknesses of going through tier. You don't get access to the fire giant, which is a really, really good counter to rock raiding. But will Mariano realize that he is playing a overhaul patch game or not? As the Phoenix will be able to clean up those Huskarl nicely. Actually, a decent idea from Socrates. As now the villagers, are they going to come up here and try and rebuild the town center? I think they will do. As the Huskarl on the front getting taken down. Mariano's struggling to produce here at the moment. He's kind of had a little bit of a lapse in this game as he's still making those Fenris Wolves. Where did the rock go? Maybe the rock got killed? I think the rock's over here. Going off this forward base here of Mariano and allowing Socrates to get a foothold back into this game here. As the villagers do get this town center back up. What I wouldn't mind seeing here is some buildings getting stuck in here. If you get rock raided on this position here and you want to stop this, just put some buildings down, and that's going to prevent the catapult from getting dropped in onto that position there. As Mariano gets his town center back up, you might want to consider getting some food as his food is starting to drop down here. And he is in a great position there. That's something that wouldn't be able to be possible on patch 5.0. And it's great that now there's like kind of sort of some counterplay to the rock raids in the late game, so to speak, here for Norse. You lose the town center, you can rebuild it. Fenris Wolves coming in to try and take out all these buildings around here. And now Socrates needs to actually be careful because Mariano can go back in to throw an axemen, which are really, really good against these barracks units and the Phoenix. We are still seeing Ulfsarks being built. If Mariano wants to build those throwing axemen, that'd be really, really good for him. Iron Shields now has come through for Socrates. He's gotten all of his armory upgrades, except for iron weapons here, but he's almost stabilized. He doesn't have his town center yet, but he might be able to find himself stabilized soon if he can get that town center back. This game is continuing in a very, very crazy direction here. 5 Phoenix here. Really, this is like 5 Nidhogg's in a way. I'm not quite doing... Actually, it might do a similar amount of damage to the Nidhogg. I'm not sure, but look at this. One throwing axeman. One throwing axeman is basically beating a Phoenix in the late game here. So Phoenixes, they definitely fall off something fierce here. Another idea from Mariano would be to build some more villages or just send his villagers forward and try and build this town center with villagers instead of with army. So we do see some raiding cavalry coming in to try and deal with those champion axemen that are here. And the side building is continuing on this position, trying to take this back town center of Socrates out here. How many monuments does Socrates have? Is it just 3 with... it's just 2. He's only got 2. He did go through Anubis, so it's basically like he's got 3 with Necropolis giving an extra 30% bonus there. What is that? 12, 30%? Plus another, what, 3 favor? 4 favor? So 15, 16 favor a minute, roughly. As the rock raids Coming back in, they're going to stop this town center. But the Throw and Axeman is also a great unit against the Rock here. You can easily take that out. It's only got 10% hack armor, 350 HP. Very, very easy unit to kill off there with the Throw and Axeman, with your upgrade there. As Socrates is going to start the raids yet again. I think Mariano sees it though, as his Frost Giant's over here. See if he can defend against that one. As you really don't want to be losing this this town center. The safety watchtower will be able to pick off the... that was beautiful. That was great. The tower here, safety tower, actually picked off the Rock on that position as Socrates wasn't paying attention. Neither was I, but great play there from Mariano as he's still motoring forward. I'm still surprised to see no attempt from Mariano to send some villagers forward and build this town center. That's another big advantage the Norse has got, is that now when you're pushing, you don't have to stop the push, you can get the town center up. As the villagers coming over here, Frost Giant going to be able to put a stop to that catapults popping out on this position. And in that moment, Socrates does tap out here. Mariano finds the win. I do wonder how this felt from Socrates' position. I do feel like Mariano was playing this one at a higher clip here from Socrates. Socrates almost managed to find a solid enough advantage in the early game, but he couldn't quite get over that Fimbulwinter to allow him to get his armory upgrades, and then his units just were not trading well enough in this game. Take a look at this, 611 to 767. I think this is all based on that that armory upgrade there, and I think if Socrates had managed to get his own armor out, this might have been a close one. After all is said and done, a really, really even late game, which is kind of where I'm aiming this patch to go. Is Egyptian player can't spare mercenary, but has got the extra economy to get all those armory upgrades out. I do wonder what would have happened here if Balder was the god of choice, but unfortunately Mariano decided to go with Tyr. Maybe we'll see what happens in a future game. Otherwise, if you guys enjoyed it, please consider hitting the follow on the Twitch. If you're on the YouTube, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next game.